All right, today we're going to tune into a story that feels like it's being whispered over a crackling late-night radio signal. It's this amazing piece of modern folklore, all about temptation, grief, and the absolutely horrifying price of relief. So let's turn on that imaginary radio, lean in a little closer, and really listen to the chilling tale of the Last Chance Cafe. You know, the entire story really boils down to this one single powerful question. I mean, really think about it. Imagine you're at your absolute lowest point, just consumed by a pain so deep you do anything to make it stop. And what if, out of that darkness, an offer appeared to do just that? What would you be willing to pay?
And right away, the story just throws you into this incredibly isolated, almost dreamlike space. A lonely radio station on a nearly forgotten highway in the dead of night. It's the perfect setup for a ghost story, right? It feels like a place where the veil between our world and something else is just incredibly thin.
And, you know, that lonely road isn't just a physical place on a map. It's a perfect metaphor for the caller's emotional state. She's stranded, she's lost, and she's desperate for any sign of hope, even if that sign happens to glow with a pretty sinister red light.
So, let's get into it. How does this all even begin? How does our main character, the caller, find herself on a collision course with this supernatural offer?
Just think about how perfectly vulnerable she is in this moment. She's emotionally devastated coming from her own mother's funeral, and then she's physically stranded. Her car just mysteriously dies, leaving her completely and utterly alone. She is, in every sense of the word, a captive audience for whatever is coming next. And then it happens. The thing that kicks this whole story off, a sign that she swears wasn't there 5 minutes ago, just flickers into existence. And it's not just any cafe, it's the Last Chance Cafe. The name itself is both a promise and a threat. It's a beacon, but it's a beacon specifically for people who feel like they have no other options left.
And this is where the temptation gets really powerful. Look at the contrast here. Outside, you have the cold, harsh, desperate reality of her grief and her situation. But inside is a fantasy. It's warm, it's safe, and it smells like biscuits. Biscuits her mother used to make. See, the cafe isn't just offering food. It's offering a return to a time before all the pain.
And there it is, the classic line of any dealer, any predator, right? It sounds like a gift, this incredible act of kindness. But we all know, and deep down, a part of her has to know, this isn't charity. This is the hook. This is the first taste of an escape that she is not going to be able to resist later on.
Because of course, the first one is never the only one. The cafe has done its job. It's set the hook. And now it's time to reveal the true, horrifying cost of its comfort.
So, no surprise, right? When a new kind of pain strikes, this time a terrible fight with her fiancé, her very first instinct is to go back to the source of that first relief. The cycle has officially begun. She's no longer just stumbling upon the cafe by accident. Now she's actively seeking it out.
Okay, so the whole friendly cook act, that's gone. The pretense of kindness is totally wiped away. The cook's words are now cold, they're transactional. It becomes crystal clear that the comfort was never a gift. It was a loan, and collection has just begun. And the currency, her own suffering.
So, how does this whole twisted economy actually work? Well, it's a terrifyingly simple transaction, really. Step 1, she unburdens herself of her pain. And in return, step 2, the cook literally extracts the core memory that anchors that pain. The hurt gets erased because its very source is just surgically removed from her soul.
And this is the part that just gives you chills. Just listen to her words. She doesn't forget the fact that her mother died, but she loses the feeling that goes with it. The love, the grief, the very essence of that relationship. It's just gone. She paid for her comfort with the most important part of the memory.
It's what you could call emotional amputation. This isn't healing, it's removal. It just leaves a hole, a numbness where a fundamental part of who she was used to be. She's not better, she's just less.
Which brings us to the final act of this story, her third and final call to the radio station. And this is where her descent just accelerates into its horrifying climax. I mean, look at how quickly this escalates. It's terrifying. Each visit requires a bigger and bigger catalyst of pain, and each visit takes an even bigger piece of her. It goes from a free sample to a core memory, and you're just left wondering, What could the third visit possibly cost? What's left to take?
So by the time she makes this final call, she knows. She absolutely knows this is a bad idea. She even tells the host, I know I shouldn't stop. But that numbness she felt, it's now a craving. The cafe has completely transformed her pain into an addiction, and she is powerless to resist her next fix.
And this is where everything shifts. The radio host, he stops being just a host. He breaks character. It's clear he's heard this story or one like it before. His warning is this desperate, direct plea, not just to the caller, but to anyone listening out there in the dark. To us. The fiction kind of cracks and the warning feels chillingly real.
Yeah, he gets it. He understands the fundamental truth of this place. The Last Chance Cafe isn't about relief. It's about consumption. It's designed to take your memories, your identity, piece by agonizing piece until there is absolutely nothing left of you. And that right there is the story's final, chilling thesis statement. It's not just about paying with what hurts anymore. It's about paying with everything you have, everything you are, until you're just an empty shell, completely hollowed out by the very comfort you were so desperate to find. So, what are we left with? It's this really unsettling idea. The story suggests that our pain, our grief, our heartbreaks, as agonizing as they are actually integral parts of who we are. They're the anchors for love, for memory, for joy. So the final question isn't just what you would pay to erase your pain, but what piece of yourself are you truly willing to lose?